Hi Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. So I wanted to do a quick little wham bam, thank you ma'am. Just to kind of do a quick little check in, see what's going on with y'all, seeing what you need to know, see what's going on. Okay, like, share, subscribe. My name is B, just in case if you're new around these parts, welcome. And if you're accustomed to being here, welcome back, motherfuckers. Love this for us. I love that you love me, and I love y'all for loving me. Anyway, let's go ahead and move on. Again, like I said, it's for Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Like, share, subscribe. Leave me some comments if this resonated. Join our family over here. I'm definitely trying to grow us. You can find me on other platforms down below in the description box. You can also book a reading with me through my other platforms that can be found down below in the description box because my website is down right now. Anyway, let's jump into the nitty gritty. Give me something for Aries. For what do they need to know? What do we got? What is it feeling? Aries, Leo, Sun, Aries, Leo, Lord have mercy. Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Maybe you have some Leo in your chart. Who knows? Give me something for Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. The first two cards coming out is funny, and I think that's so very Aries, right? So you have Bag Lady and you have Mind Your Business. I was actually, when I saw Bag Lady, I was tempted to ask y'all, are you carrying other people's baggage? And then I saw Mind Your Business right next to it, which made me feel like if you're carrying other people's baggage at this time, make sure you remind yourself to mind your business. Y'all could be so ride or die and y'all love so hard. And though we absolutely love y'all for that, it's not your job to carry everybody. It's not your job to help them come up with a solution. It ain't your job to fight their battles with them. Sometimes you got to put your nose back in your own plate and mind your business. Let these people learn how to fight their own battles. Let these people figure out their own solutions. Let these people think for themselves. Right? So making sure that you focusing on yourself. For others of you, again, this might not be you fighting other people's battles, but it could just be having some baggage and feeling like you're carrying a lot of responsibility and a lot of excess stress. You know what I'm saying? A lot of pressure, maybe feeling overwhelmed and feeling like you have too much responsibility, or maybe you're just overwhelmed from feeling like you have to do it alone. And mind your business is just a ode to remember not to compare yourself, right? Maybe for some of you, you need to be reminded, and as your Sag sister, I understand that I also sometimes have to be reminded, which is like, you're not against nobody and running no other race except for the one for yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like you're not in competition with nobody but yourself. I don't give a damn what it was, and you're not on anybody else's time clock but your own. So maybe you feel frustrated because you have to do it by yourself. Maybe you feel overwhelmed and stressed out and just overwhelmed, like annoyed or whatever, because maybe you feel like people have it easier than you, right? Saturn is definitely in Aries. Well, it was anyway. It's retrograded for Pisces. Um, I would imagine that you guys are still affected because again, it started retrograding in Aries. So again, maybe as of lately, you've been feeling like, you know what I'm saying, everybody else get help and everybody else get compassion and everybody else get a shoulder to lean on. But then when it comes to you, motherfuckers just leave you to figure it out by yourself. Maybe you feel frustrated because you can't figure it out by yourself, but then now you got to kind of figure it out for everybody else too. And it's just like, you know what I'm saying? But when I be needing shit, right? So make sure you kind of watch that, okay? Regardless of if you frustrated because you comparing your journey, or if you not comparing your journey, but maybe you're doing great on your journey, but then you like, nah, I got to carry a bunch of other motherfuckers too. And it's like, again, mind your business. Regardless of if you gotta think for a bunch of other motherfuckers, get your nose out their business, put it back in your own. Let them figure it out for themselves. You can be wise at counsel, a soundboard, but it's not for you to pick up and do no heavy lifting for nobody else. These people have to learn how to be self-sufficient just like you did. And that's just what it is. And if you are being self-sufficient and you like, yes, bitch, I'm tired of being self-sufficient. I have been doing this. When do I get help? When do I get a confidant? When do I get a load off? Because that's what I'm waiting on. Make sure that you're not looking at other people either. Because again, your journey is different. Well, the blessings that's for you, the diamond that God is putting the pressure on you to be made is different. You can't compare yourself to a bunch of motherfuckers who are mud rocks. You're not a mud rock. You're a diamond. Does that make sense? But diamonds come with pressure. The pressure is what makes the diamond. But see, if you looking at a motherfucking mud rock and you like, oh, they just have it so easy. Yeah, I'm sure. Because they ain't meant to be a mountain of shit, doing shit. They're not going nowhere. Yeah, life is real easy peasy for them. Absolutely. 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 Why didn't I just say that? You could be a wise counsel. You could be a wise counsel, but it's not for you to be picking up no heavy lifting and doing nobody else's job. Wise one. It says support from a, what does it say? Support from a trusted person, receiving sound advice, counseling someone you trust, consulting, excuse me, someone you trust, someone who is strong, wise, and knows just what to say, divine assistance, seeking professional help. Okay, higher education, currently in school, learning a trade, learning a new skill, or searching self-passion. Again, so for some of you, like I said, if you dealing with this and you feel like this is some frustration because again it's you versus you, and you kind of looking at everybody else and you feel like they got help and they got it easy, and you know what I'm saying, why they don't got to go through shit, and why I got to be going through all of the spirits, why the generational curse breaker got to fall on me. Right, where it's just like sometimes I just want to be regular. I don't want to be trying to be breaking generational curses. Why did they have to fall on me? There's just so much baggage, there's so much this, right? Even if not on a spiritual tip, and you just like, bitch, I'm tired to take care of these kids, bitch. Okay, I got all these kids, I got these bills I gotta take care of by myself. I do everything by myself. I'm just sick of doing it by myself. I have so many responsibilities. Then when I get off work, when I get to work, I got 1,000 responsibilities. When I get off, I got 1,000 responsibilities. Then I got these kids I gotta do, and then I got these bills, and then I got my friends, and they call me as a wise counseling support. Maybe you need help, right? Wise one and higher education together makes me feel like if this is you and you have a lot of baggage and a lot of emotional like toil that you still carrying, right? A lot of pressure, feeling like you got to do it by yourself, or you know, the frustration of that all, because Lord knows as a Saturn Aries woman, I know the frustration of just feeling like, bitch, I'm about to burn all of this down because I got to do it by myself and I'm sick of it. You know what I'm saying? Nobody, I don't get treated the same, right? So if you understand that, understand too, remember, for one, it says mind your business, focus on yourself. But it says, you know, it's you versus you, divine timing, shift your focus to self. Everyone's journey is different, right? You're unique. Don't compare yourself to others. Excuse me. Right, so making sure again that you understand that, like I said, yeah, it get frustrating, and yeah, it get hard, and yeah, it's fucked up, and yeah, whatever happened to your childhood happened, and yeah, whatever trauma you went through, and yeah, I understand that, you know, life dealt you a very shitty deck of cards. I trust me, I know and I understand. But you want to be a diamond or you want to be a mud rock, right? And not to sound insensitive, it just is what it is. If you need help, make sure that you seek professional help. Talk to a therapist. One of the best things I've done was talk to a therapist. And I understand therapy ain't for everybody, but baby, if you haven't tried it, it's at least worth it to try. Because you can have somebody to vent these frustrations and to kind of help give you the tools to alleviate yourself of some of this. Especially maybe if you don't know how to ask for help, or if you feel like as the mature one Aries, because again, y'all know how y'all can be. So maybe you feel like, bitch, I just got it and I just assume the position because that's what I'm supposed to do. That's what I was always taught to do. For other people, where you sticking your nose in their business and you like, bitch, this life shit is a breeze and I'm jumping over these hurdles like it's nothing, but I'm having to carry motherfuckers who can't think for themselves. I'm having to carry motherfuckers and think for them and come up with solutions for them, and you know what I'm saying, help them move their motherfucking legs like some rock'em sock'em robot or some shit like that, like, because they act like they can't do it. You have to mind your business. Your life instead of problems is your life instead of problems. Their life instead of problems is their life instead of problems. If they need help, they need to seek wise counsel. You can be wise counsel, but that's all you can be. And past wise counsel, higher education, higher learning, searching for themselves, they're going to have to learn this skill. If they don't know how to do life, they're going to have to learn the skill. If they don't know how to go about doing this and handling that, and they don't know a solution to this, they're going to have to learn the skill. You can't spoon feed it to them, Aries. And that's just what it is. Family, friends, lovers give a fuck about all of that. They're going to have to figure it out. And as you figuring it out, don't be ashamed to consult with some people you might need to consult with, you know, to get a little bit of higher help to help you kind of release some of this baggage. Maybe it's, you know what I'm saying, childhood, like I said, childhood trauma and issues and shit. And, you know what I'm saying, sometimes you just try to be so tough. Aries, that don't help everybody. That don't do nothing for nobody, really. Like, you have to learn how to kind of let somebody help you. At what point do you learn how to let somebody help you? Even if it is divine assistance. It says seek a professional help, but it also says divine assistance. So who you praying to? How often are you praying? What's your prayer life like? Okay, boomerang is the last card out. It says someone from your past is returning. Karma pattern, repeated cycles, and unfinished business. So yeah, like I said, for a lot of you, this kind of feels like somebody else's baggage. It feels more so like Aries making sure that you're not putting your nose in other folk business. Okay, starting over is down at the bottom of the deck. So maybe this is someone from the past coming back who might have a lot of baggage. Again, if you deal with them, make sure that you understand where you end and where they begin. It is not for you to carry them. It is not for you to help do no heavy lifting. Like I said, you could be a soundboard, a wise counsel, but that's it. You're not allowed to do no heavy lifting, move no arms, legs, rock 'em, sock 'em, robot, or none of that shit. You're not supposed to pick up nothing, do nothing, don't lift a finger. This is something that somebody needs to figure out. This is their higher learning. This is their spiritual path. And this is them in search for themselves. They have to, either come to a sense of self, whichever one applies first, is what this feels like. But there is definitely a new cycle, and it's funny because this says new cycle, this says repeating cycle. So it's also giving Aries, if you're not careful, whoever this is, you'll kind of fall right back into the same pattern where, like, again, if this is somebody you've been dealing with, maybe they got baggage, right? Now you're trying to help them heal, and you trying to love them through it and talk, and it's like they need to tell them revert, you know what I'm saying, refer your therapist to them, wish them the best, love them through it, right? But there needs to be a new cycle and some new boundaries being set with somebody coming back. This feels like someone coming back. This feels like, again, if you're not careful and if you ain't learned that, you'll no longer be really focusing on yourself, because you'll be focusing on this person, they baggage. They might have the baggage and the energy of having the issue doing it alone, right? Where it's like, oh, I'm just so by myself, and I don't have any help. And Aries, maybe then, yeah, you try to step in, but then how the fuck would they ever learn anything if they always depending and relying on you? They'll never learn a goddamn thing. They won't learn shit. You can't teach a man. No, what's the saying? Take a man fishing and he'll eat for a day. Teach a man how to fish and he'll eat for the rest of his life. Right? But this made me feel like you need to be a hands off teacher. Right? Hands off. Do not touch nothing. They need to, you can talk their ass through it. Yes, so do this and pick up that, and then once you go here, right, and that's it. At that point, if they don't fucking get it, they need to consult with somebody else, or they're just deaf, dumb, and it just wasn't meant for them to motherfucking get it. Aries, it just is what it is. Excuse my first, not to be rude. It's just is what it is. Damn. Give me this baggage. I feel like this bag lady and this boomerang really go together. I'm gonna be honest. I feel like this is somebody kind of maybe coming back, where again you're gonna have to learn how to set some like boundaries if you're going to start over, right? Let me start there, because you don't have to start over with nobody, but this is giving if you plan on starting over, if you kind of go deal with somebody and kind of let them back in your good graces, you need new boundaries. It's going to need to come from a new cycle, and y'all are gonna have to like rebuild. And there's two notches of finding yourself or searching, because again this one says finding yourself and this one says searching for passion or self. So again, somebody might still have some soul searching that they need to do, but again, Aries, don't make it your goddamn problem. It's just the main thing I'm picking up. Give me this bag lady energy, the emotional baggage. Someone might have emotional baggage. Yeah, that's what it's kind of giving. It's like remember, you not nobody therapist, you not nobody mama, you not nobody daddy and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, it ain't for you to be picking up scragglers. It ain't for you. You know what I'm saying? Like none of that. Like, it ain't none of that. You ain't nobody teacher. You not they therapist. You not they counselor, psychiatrist. Bitch, you not the doctor. You know, like none of that. None of that. Give me this bag lady. Yeah, this feel. Queen of Swords fell out. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. This feel like somebody too who This feels like somebody too who's a little rude. This Queen of Swords is giving me like a rude energy, like someone who might have emotional baggage and then get snappy. This feels like someone who wallows also, like someone who like might have a wallowing energy that can't really generate no new energy, invest in no new. Like this is kind of what it's getting. Five of Cups reverse. I don't know why I'm getting a wallowing energy. Five of Cups is like crying over spilled milk, but it's like, okay, you kind of need to get over it. You know what I'm saying? Let's get over it. Let's clean up the milk. You know what I'm saying? Five of Cups reverse can indicate getting fresh out of wallowness. But when I saw it, I don't know, the first energy I felt off of it was like a wallowing energy. Be careful of, again, people who want to come back into your life, but then they know that they're like sulkers. You know them people where, again, they call you with a problem. They're like, hey, Aries, this was going on, right? This is that and third, we walked bam. And then this is what had happened, right? And you'll get them the whole rundown, the whole shit. What you need to do, if I was you, ABC 1 2 3, right? And then you talk to them tomorrow, and then you like, oh, did you ever get to do? And they like, but then they called you again the second day to keep talking about it. You know what I'm saying? You know them people where it's like, again, you give them all the solutions and advice and listen to them forever, and it's like people who really just want to wallow in it. You know what I'm saying? They tell you at that time, oh, well, I got fired today, Aries, and I just feel so. And you're like, oh, damn, let me shoot you the number to the temp service that I used to do, and you know what I'm saying? Until you can get back on your feet, the temp service is pretty smooth. Did you wop wop wop? This what you need to do, and then you call them tomorrow, and you like, did you ever go through the temp thing? And they like, I was just so depressed about losing my job. I just stayed in the bed. I was just so, it's like, oh, brother. So you just didn't do nothing? You know what I'm saying? People who get real rude, you know what I'm saying? Get real mean and nasty and shit. Emotional baggage, talk a good gang of shit about everybody else. So be careful with that. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Emperor's reverse. Somebody who just shit ain't successful. Shit ain't successful. It ain't no new beginnings. It ain't no fruit blossoming on a tree. You know what I'm saying? Like, somebody who really kind of down bad. So be careful of that. Give me this boomerang card. Who's coming back? Where we at? 17 minutes. Who's coming back for Aries? Who's coming back to Aries? Two of Pentacles is here. The World is here. This might be somebody who kind of in and out of a cycle themselves. Two of Pentacles with the World card is here. This made me feel like somebody who's still kind of juggling some shit themselves. Give me what this World card is. What is the world? What is this they juggling? Five of Wands. Oh, they got their own obstacles and shit. So this is someone who coming back, but they definitely got their own obstacles and conflicts and shit. I feel like they trying to wrap it up. I feel like they might be one foot in wrapping it up and one foot in not. But again, the Devil card is here, so it's letting me know there's still some shit kind of going on with this person. So like I said, be very careful. They still got some baggage and shit going on. I do feel like, again, though, they might be 1 foot in and 1 foot out. Like the two of Pentacles, the World card, and the Five of Wands make me feel like on some days they real kumbaya, and then on other days they still could be with bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Like some days it's just like, oh, life happens for a reason, and I'm just so blessed. And then other days it's just like, life is happening to me, and why me, and like, everything happens to me. Be careful with that, because again, somebody needs to take their ass to therapy. Yeah, it ain't for you to be fixing them. So be careful with that. Like I said, if you want to start over with them, some boundaries are gonna have to be placed. So, like I said earlier in this video, understanding where you end and where they begin is going to be very important. Setting boundaries, keeping boundaries with this person is going to be very important. Understanding that, again, yeah, you might want to step in and help. Yeah, you might care about this person or whatever, but mind your business, Aries. Okay, and it's just that on that. You ain't nobody therapist. You ain't they confidant. You ain't they counselor. You ain't they preacher. You ain't they pastor. You ain't they goddamn doctor. You ain't they mama, they daddy, authority figure, and none of that shit. Everybody's gonna have to learn how to step into their own too. And if this is somebody you dealing with and they got some emotional baggage, mental baggage, and or maybe family baggage, external baggage from whatever y'all have going on and how they want to show up with you, they need to figure that shit the fuck out. It's not for you to figure it out with them. But I do see somebody coming back from the past. So don't be surprised if you might have some unfinished business with some people. Okay? Because it definitely says someone returning from the past. But like I said, one of these cards say repeating cycles. And the other one says new cycle. So you figure out how the fuck you want to gauge that. You either want a new cycle with this person or you want the repeating cycle. And that don't necessarily mean you can't engage them in, like, talk and chat or whatever. But what it definitely means is you're going to have to show up a different way, Aries. You're going to have to set some new boundaries. And again, you're going to have to let this person deal with their shit on their own. Okay? You got your own set of shit to deal with. Everybody's journey is different. Is you versus you. Shift your focus to yourself. Don't let this person be your primary focus, and don't let them sway and guilt you because I just have so much going on, Aries. Don't let them sway and guilt you into shifting your focus to them, because they gonna always have something going on. Until they're ready to do something about it, they gonna always have something going on. Let them figure out what's going on. Let them figure out what they're doing about what's going on. Amen. Thank you again so much for getting this far. If you did get this far, my name is B, and I really do appreciate you checking out my channel. Like, share, subscribe. Like I said, try down below in the description box. You can find me on other platforms, and or if you want to book a personal reading, you can do that on my other platforms as well. And yeah, call me, beat me if you want to reach me. Be possible. Anyway, like, share, subscribe again, and until next time, I'll see you over on the next video. Bye.